everyone, Zephyr here, and welcome to my channel. Today we are building a custom content-free lighthouse in The Sims 2. Now this video was originally going to be something else. I originally wanted to do a build with me type video. That's what I was going to call it. It was going to be me building in real time, not speeding anything up, and just showing you guys the whole process. I thought it was going to be a nice aesthetic moment. I was going to have like a nice thumbnail prepared. I was ready to enter my aesthetic YouTuber era. But yeah, that was not me. I could not pull it off. I was having trouble talking about the build and building at the same time. And I didn't think it would make a good video. So we're just doing it the old-fashioned way and doing a speed build. As you may have noticed, I'm creating this build on Tweaky Island. But this build is actually for one of my future custom neighborhoods that I have in progress. That is currently unnamed, to be honest. But it's going to be a town based off of the Canadian Maritime Provinces. And one of the most iconic things about the Maritime Provinces, in my opinion, is our lighthouses. There's some famous ones out there, like the Peggy's Cove Lighthouse, but honestly, like, I just appreciate all lighthouses. And I've always been like this. I'm not sure why, but I've always found lighthouses to be, like, such a gorgeous little landmark, and there's quite a few of them around here for me to look at. So I have a good time, like, driving down the coast and looking at lighthouses. So I felt like it's an iconic structure, and I felt like I had to include one in a town based off of the Maritimes. I think another reason why I appreciate lighthouses is the history surrounding them, and sometimes it's just history that I made up for the lighthouses in the back of my head. Like, sometimes I just look at a lighthouse and I'm like, yeah, that looks like a lighthouse where a tragic event happened. There's definitely like a ghost of a woman up there waiting for her long lost lover to come back from the war or something. Like, I don't know. I attribute a lot of like spooky, scary stories to lighthouses. I watched a lot of spooky shows growing up, so I think it's a pretty common trope. Like, if it's not the woman eternally waiting for her lost lover, it's the old, gruff, like, lighthouse keeper who's permanently attached to the lighthouse, who maybe had a son die at the lighthouse, and now he feels like he can't leave the lighthouse, and he's kind of cursed to always take care of the lighthouse as a ghost. It's that kind of story attributed to the lighthouses, and I don't know, I appreciate those kind of stories. I find them interesting. It kind of makes me wonder what kind of lore is surrounding this lighthouse that I'm building here. I think I'm gonna figure out the story of this lighthouse as the neighborhood progresses, because I do want the buildings and the people in this neighborhood to have backstories and lore. I want the neighborhood to feel kind of real, so I'll get back to you on that. We'll see. What I do know is this is a cute little lighthouse that I think looks cute on the neighborhood screen even, and I think it'll be a nice place for your Sims to visit. Backtracking a bit, speaking about spooky stuff, I need to tell you guys about something that happened to me. It seems like once every few years I have this like spooky, kinda unexplainable experience, and I just had another one for the first time in a while. So basically this experience happened a couple days ago. For context, I still live at home with my parents. This economy is crazy, but that's another story. Anyway, it was late at night and my mom had just finished walking my dog. I heard them come in, right? And my dog was in the kitchen, kind of in his spot where he normally waits, because we normally give him a little treat after his walk, right? And I had rounded the corner wanting to either ask my mom a question or talk to her, right? And I saw a figure that I couldn't really make out the details of walk into the laundry room. And the laundry room was like right behind where my dog was standing, so I figured, oh, it was just my mom. She just came back from walking the dog, right? So normally she goes and puts her sweater or whatever she's wearing in the laundry room. So I walk up to the laundry room door ready to ask my mom this question or tell her what I needed to tell her, right? And I start talking and she doesn't reply to me. Okay, and then I kind of take a step back and I realize that my mom's actually in the bathroom. I talked to her through the bathroom door and she's like, I'm in the bathroom, right? But I swear, when I had stepped out of my room, I could see where my dog was standing, right? And behind my dog, I saw a figure go into the laundry room. It was a dark, like, human-shaped figure that I just assumed was my mom. Anyway, my mom comes out of the bathroom and, like, she goes to the laundry room afterwards, and nobody was in the laundry room. I guess it was either a ghost or my mind playing tricks on me. No, I just want to be absolutely clear. Some days I am the biggest skeptic you'll ever meet, and some days I'm like the most spiritual person you'll ever meet. There is no in between. Like, there's two sides of my brain. One of them is Scully from the X-Files, and one of them is Mulder from the X-Files. And my brain just exists like that without the sexual tension that they have between them. Or maybe there is sexual tension. I don't know. I'm not going to do a deep dive into my brain and into the Sims 2 video. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm on the fence about what happened there. Like, it was probably my mind playing tricks on me, but what if it wasn't? Years ago, my grandfather built this home, and when he had passed away, my grandmother was convinced this place was haunted. And I'm just kind of looking back at the old lighthouse keeper story that I was telling earlier in this video, and I'm like, hey, maybe it was my grandfather coming to visit. You never know. But it was weird because my dog had, like, no reaction, you know? I feel like if there was, like, something behind him, he would have, like, freaked out. But maybe he just didn't see it. I don't know. He's old. He misses something sometimes. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting little story. I don't know. I like to believe that it was maybe a dead relative visiting us or something. I think that's a fun thing to believe. It's more entertaining to kind of think about than, oh, it was just my brain playing tricks on me. Like, that's kind of boring and slightly concerning. So I kind of just want to lean towards the paranormal on this one. I'm fully aware that, like, auditory and, like, visual hallucinations are a thing that even, like, mentally healthy people experience. It's just, it's more fun to believe in the paranormal, you know? Oh, you'll see some weird camera movements on this part of the video. It's because when I was recording this, I was still thinking I was going to make that aesthetic build with me video, and I was going on a nice little rant about how we don't have any picnic tables in the game. It was a long rant, but I still stand by it. I don't know why the Sims 2 team didn't give us picnic tables. I'm aware there's custom content picnic tables, but I just wanted an actual picnic table in this game because I'm trying to do a custom content free neighborhood, and it's just awkward to have, like, tables out there and not nice sturdy picnic tables. So we're gonna be working on the interior of the build in a moment here, and as I was building this house, I kind of had two different mindsets about what this lot could be. The first thing I had in mind for this build was maybe it could be one of those, like, historical museum houses, you know what I mean? Like, around here in the Maritimes, we have a bunch of, like, pretty famous locations. Well, pretty famous by our standards, okay? It's not like the Taj Mahal. We have a lot of houses or buildings that are like time capsules. Oftentimes they are museums, and you pay a little bit of a fee to go into the museum and kind of have a tour around the property and see a bunch of antiques and basically be able to see what a house would look like in the past, like the 1800s, 1900s, whatever. So I was thinking maybe that kind of vibe, but then I was like, what if we just made a Airbnb? And I ended up leaning more towards the Airbnb side of things. However, this place is set up as a community lot, and I feel like if I were to use it for gameplay, I would mainly just use it as a nice little place my Sims could go hang out and take photos at. But obviously, if you download this lot, you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement when it comes to beach lots in The Sims 2, because beach lots are just the bane of my existence. And this house happens to be on a beach lot, and because this house is on a beach lot, it might not even end up in the final version of my Sims 2 custom neighborhood. I'm just gonna put that out there right now because I know myself. So obviously for this custom neighborhood, I'm gonna be making my own custom map, and that requires me to go into SimCity 4 and make it. And I've always struggled making custom neighborhoods that are able to use the beach lots properly. It's probably going to require a lot of fiddling around on my part, and I don't know if I have the patience for that. I'm going to try to, though, because I do like this lot. I like how it turned out, and I think it looks really cute on the neighborhood screen. So we're going to attempt to leave it in the neighborhood. We'll see. What I'm trying to say is that it's difficult to place down these types of lots, and you can't just place it down on any old neighborhood. You need to have a neighborhood that's compatible with it. So there's your little warning before you go and download the slot. Oh, and I also wanted to take this time to apologize about the fact that I haven't been uploading a lot of building videos lately. I've been kind of focusing on my Sims 2 Build a City Challenge series, and I want this channel to be a healthy mixture of gameplay and speed builds, but I was like really excited about the challenge and starting the challenge, so I just kind of uploaded a bunch of gameplay videos in a row. I hope you're not mad at me. I doubt anyone is. But that is my little explanation, my state of the channel address. I don't know, I'm Canadian. I don't know why I just said that. Now, one thing I will say about this lot is the beach is not decorated. And I have an excuse for that. It's not laziness. It's the fact that our beaches around here in the Maritimes are kinda uninspiring. I'm sorry, but like compared to other beaches in the world, our beaches are like Walmart and other beaches are Chanel. Like, you would think that beaches are supposed to be our thing, right? And they kinda are, but they're our thing in a way that's different than, you know, beaches in the Caribbean or other places like that in the world. They're our thing because fishing is important in the Maritimes. They're not our thing because people come here to see our beaches. I mean, some people come here to see our beaches. But, like, when I think of a nice beach that I want to relax on, it's something like this. And not something like I grew up with, like this. You catch my drift? But yeah, thank you for allowing me to talk shit about the Maritimes. Well, also building a build dedicated to the Maritimes. It's kind of our thing. We like to rib on the provinces, but also we enjoy a lot of the aspects about living here. But yeah, I don't feel like the beach really needs much. The beaches around here don't have a lot to them, like dead grass maybe, and rocks. I didn't feel the need to put that in this beach. I wanted the focal point of this lot to be the lighthouse and not necessarily the beach. I don't imagine Sims go here and swim a lot. They're here for the lighthouse. So one thing about me is I like to record these voiceovers in multiple sessions. I don't have much of an attention span like a lot of people these days. And I just woke up, it's 9:30 in the morning, and I just remembered one of my dreams. And that's kind of like a rare event for me. I don't tend to remember my dreams a lot. But tell me why my 30-year-old ass dreamed about being in high school again. And for context, in the dream, I was literally 30. Like, the fact that I'm 30 came up in the dream. So in the dream, I have to go to, like, the principal's office to figure out my schedule, because there was, like, something on the schedule that said that I didn't have a class during a certain period. And I'm like, okay, is that a glitch, or are they giving me a free period because I'm an older student who's just trying to get some credits to graduate? And then while I'm thinking about this in my dream, I'm like, wait a second, I've been lying to my job saying that I have my diploma. And I was kind of like spiraling in my dream, and I'm there walking into the principal's office, and the person at the receptionist desk is like, how old are you? And I'm like, 30. And they were like, yeah, you look 30. And I'm like, so like in my dream, I'm like stressing because I'm like, oh no, I've lied to like every job I've had about having a high school diploma. I've lied about having a high school diploma in general, and here I am trying to get it, and now this receptionist is saying that I look 30. Whatever the hell that is supposed to mean. Like, I was stressing about school, stressing about my schedule, stressing about work, and stressing about my age. Like, my dream was attacking me from all angles, and I don't even know what that's about. I guess we'll talk about the build for a second. I think this kitchen turned out quite cute. I'm quite proud of it. But it's kinda a death trap. If you watched my first Build a City Challenge series, I had 2 Sims die because there was a rug in their kitchen that caught on fire and they couldn't escape the kitchen. And in this kitchen, the rug takes up the whole space. So if your Sim were to set a fire, they would probably die. So maybe if you download the slot, you should probably fix that. But I'm here for the aesthetics, okay? I think it looks nice. And sometimes having a little bit of danger in your game is fun. I mean, we literally play a game where your Sim could go and stargaze outside and get hit by a falling satellite and die. So I think having a little risky bit of a kitchen situation is a little bit more realistic anyway, and sometimes tragic events spice up your gameplay. One of my favorite attempts at playing Pleasantview was when Don Lothario died of the flu right after Cassandra gave birth to twins. Like, it kind of like threw a wrench in my plans, because I like Don being chaotic and like having babies with everyone in town, but he had only really romanced in my game Cassandra, and then suddenly he died. Like, he's supposed to be like one of the main characters in my head of Pleasantview, and he died, and it just added chaos to the neighborhood, and the neighborhood went somewhere where I didn't expect it, and I enjoyed that. So this build does have 2 bedrooms if you want to convert it into a residential lot, but the thing is, one of the bedrooms is kind of in the lighthouse tower. I'm not saying this is really realistic. Actually, let me go research lighthouses for a second. Never mind, I found a picture of exactly the vibe I was going for when it comes to the lighthouse bedroom, and it's this. I think they do in fact exist. So I take that back. It's incredibly realistic to have a bedroom in a lighthouse. I don't know. That picture was exactly the vibe I was going for when it comes to the bedroom you're about to see in this lighthouse. I have no idea why I said that was the vibe I was going for when it comes to the bedroom. Okay, because I'm looking back on the footage and seeing what I did with the actual bedroom, and you don't see it yet, but you're gonna see it. And it looks way more comfortable than the picture I showed you. Like, comfortable in a way, like cozy cabin comfort. I still think the picture I showed you looks like interesting, and I wouldn't mind spending a night in that room, but it's not like cozy comfort, you know? Like, there's a comfortable looking rug and a teddy bear in the bedroom that I make. So I'm not sure why I was trying to like equate it to a rustic antique style bedroom. Because it's not. But I guess that style was just kind of like the original intent for the room in my head, and I ended up deviating from that. Also, when you're in build mode and you're in the mode that you can see the roofs, the roof kind of clips into this room. That has never really bugged me much. I had somebody commented on one of my builds before that there was a way to fix it, but like it just never bugged me enough to attempt to do it. Maybe it's because I always play with like half up, half down walls, and I just never really see the roof unless I'm purposely trying to get a screenshot with the roof in the background. So it's just never really bugged me. And I'm sorry if it bugs you, but I don't think it's a huge problem. At least I sit here and admit to the faults in my build. So, like, I'm talking about this roofing issue. I talked about the potential for the kitchen in this build to kill your Sims. Don't say I didn't warn you. Like, I'm just imagining, like, a hit piece video made about me, about someone, like, trashing my builds and saying that I make kitchens purposely dangerous to kill your Sims, and like, imagine like a 2-hour like documentary about that or something. So we are getting towards the end of the video, but I have one more little story to close out this video, and it's actually Sims related, kinda. I had a customer walk into work the other day who I swear to God was the carbon copy of James Turner. If you don't know who James Turner is, he basically runs a fairly popular YouTube channel that used to be called The Sim Supply, and now it's just James Turner. And when he came in, I was like staring at him like, where do I recognize this guy from? Because I didn't put 2 and 2 together at all until like halfway through the interaction. It wasn't actually James Turner. He was like in a security guard's uniform, and he was speaking in a Canadian accent. It wasn't an Australian accent, but it was just crazy how much this man looked like James Turner. Like, it was his doppelganger. It was crazy. Like, same hair, same beard, same face. It was like an experience, okay? It just makes me wonder, like, where's my doppelganger? Like, I haven't seen anyone that really looks all that like me, except for maybe my dad. That's it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just have a unique face. But, yeah, there's a doppelganger of James Turner running around New Brunswick, Canada. Maybe my doppelganger is in Australia. I don't know. My YouTube channel is nowhere near the size of James Turner's, but who knows? The world is funny. Please, I better wrap this up. We're like in screenshots right now. If you guys liked the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.